Welcome to the Andy Meadows Show. We've got a good roundtable coming up where we'll discuss all kinds of things with my brother Chris. But first, your headlines. More American troops are headed towards the Middle East as the war in Iran stretches into week 5, just in case the president decides to send in ground troops via a 2 a.m. toilet tweet. I kid. We all know Netanyahu is the one making that call. Epstein files. Blackmail. CPAC 2026 returned to Texas with conservatives meeting just down the road from me in Grapevine, Texas, where I used to live. The typically pro-Trump conference was a little less pro-Trump this year, with some of the crowd even cheering the idea of impeachment hearings. When CPAC chairman Matt Schlapp mentioned it on the stage, Schlapp was so offended he had to grab 2 men's asses later that night at a downtown bar. Joke, please don't sue me. Allegedly grabbed him. Tiger Woods rolled his car in his posh Florida neighborhood and was charged with a DUI for pills. This marks the 4th major high-profile vehicle incident involving the golfing legend and the first time Vanessa Trump has said, "Did I really leave DJ TJ for another rich douchebag?" Our airports are still a shit show as lawmakers refuse to work across the aisle to pay TSA workers to feel us all up and make sure we don't have bombs in our tighty-whities. The No Kings protest, while mostly peaceful, did lead to clashes in both Portland and L.A., and they led to Bruce Springsteen taking the stage in Minneapolis to sing a terrible song he scrolled on a napkin after we all watched a second American citizen get murdered on camera for the crime of annoying poorly trained federal officers. And now, your Redneck Roundtable. Did I hit the right button? Come on, man. Riverside is running slow today.
Dude, I'm telling you. Oh, hey, there it is. Look at that.
That's one of my blues songs.
I feel like you should load your own music into your thing when you press the button, too.
Yeah, so I get an extra 2 cents. If you want to weigh on anything we talk about, comment on whichever platform you're watching this or head to andymeadowshow.com to record your audio. Either way, we're likely to include your thoughts on an upcoming episode. Please welcome our mother's second favorite son, maybe third,
BS.
Chris Meadows.
Lies.
You think you're number one? You think you're number one?
Of course I'm number one. You kidding me? The only thing I didn't do was provide them any more grandchildren, but they got enough now.
I saw her and Dad yesterday. I should have asked. And then I could have said, well, really, here's Mom. Roll the tape. And it's Mom going, Andy is my favorite son. Dude, we had a terrible freaking week, especially yesterday.
Oh, no.
So Jack face planted several times because he's pulling the stand now.
Oh.
And boys apparently don't, once they get hurt, they don't like not do it again. I didn't know this because our other 2 are girls. So he just keeps face planting, cries, then gets back up and does it again. And so Matt, all on the same day, that happened. Madeline burned her hand on the stove for the second time in her life. Scary. And then Jill had to rush Annie to urgent care for popping out her elbow.
Oh, like dislocated?
No, it's not as bad as dislocated. It's like, it's called nursemaid elbow. You're not supposed to pick up kids by their arms, right?
Yeah, probably not. That sounds right.
Yeah, because it can
only
throw
from the feet. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, no, that would throw out other things, but no, picking them up by the arms can throw out their shoulders, can throw out their elbow. But first time I was, she likes to be flipped over. I was flipping her over the first time it happened. And so once it happens it happens again. So yesterday, Jill picked her up just real quickly by her arms, and the second time it pops out real easy. So now for the next year, we got to be real careful. Otherwise, she'll do that every once in a while.
Does it hurt? Like, does she start screaming?
No, I mean, she probably got Jill's pain tolerance instead of mine because she just kind of goes, ow, my elbow. And then now she knows that means she gets to go to the doctor, which she loves. And while we're waiting to get everything situated so we can run to the doctor, she gets to go into mommy daddy's room to watch whatever show she wants while she waits. So she kind of likes it.
A little bit of a benefit.
Yeah. But
So
what y'all
you've
been up to?
physically abusing your children is what you're telling me.
No,
It
no,
sounds like both of you now have physically harmed the child.
no, I guess technically the stove thing was mine because I had broiled some hamburger buns and I forgot to turn it off. You can't lock our stove without turning it off first, which is stupid.
You can't lock the like the door?
Yeah, so they have a lock on them, but that's mainly just for self-cleaning, I guess, stoves.
Yeah.
But it helps great because the kids like to open the stove up. But if you're actively preheating it or it's already hot and in running, you can't lock it. Which that's the time you need to lock it. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe get some Velcro or something.
Yeah, we're gonna put a lock on it. But the freaking kid-proofing houses is so tough because you got to think of every single thing they might get into, and they get taller every day.
Or you just like once one of them gets hurt, you're like, okay, well, we got to fix that problem.
Right, but now we got Jack who gets into things that the girls never get into because he's just like Mr. Explorer, you know. So it's a living nightmare, Chris.
Jack will just continue to hurt himself over and over again trying to do something. Maddie burned her hand and said, oh, no, don't do that ever again. But then she forgot maybe and like, okay, I'm going to burn my hand again.
Right, so she's good about like, Annie's also not as good as Madeline about, Annie will get hurt multiple times. Usually once Madeline gets hurt on something, she knows not to do it, which is not how you want them to learn because you don't want them like.
Well, what alternative is there? You just tell her and she's like, oh, okay.
Right, but Annie, you can kind of tell. Madeline, it's hard to get that through to her, so it is helpful that when she does get hurt doing something, she doesn't do it like again.
Yeah.
But apparently she had forgotten about the stove. But what have y'all been up to?
Hot. Let's see. We did some dog race action last weekend up in Fairbanks.
Who won the dog race?
Open North American Championships. The same guy that has won it 11 other times now.
I always hate that. I like new winners.
I know. He's definitely got the Max Verstappen effect now. Everybody's like, oh, really? Him again? He's winning again? Come on. But it's crazy because they do 70 miles over 3 days. It's fast. You know, they're going about 20 miles an hour on the dogs. And by the end of that time, they're still only seconds apart.
Good God.
After all that time. Yeah.
So
and somehow every single year he got it exactly down to the science of I'm always 8 seconds faster than everybody else, and that's all I need to be.
You got to interview him and find out what his trick is. Is it the kibble?
Yeah.
What's he feeding these dogs?
His trick is I think he's got 90 dogs and he picks the best ones.
Process of elimination.
Yeah.
He spends the whole year.
He Hunger Games the dogs.
He spends the whole year pitting those dogs against each other so he can. But yeah, that's incredible, man, that they're that close at the freaking end after that long. Because usually in the longer road races with cars, even with cars, there's quite a separation.
Yeah.
You know, because like in the Daytona 500, they'll lap people. You know, multiple times. So who knows?
But that's, I mean, it's crazy.
Did he have to retire any dogs? Like you said, they retire some if they're not.
Oh yeah, every I don't think anybody in the whole. So there was like 18 people racing. I don't think anybody kept all the dogs for the entire weekend. Usually it's like they start with 18 dogs and then they'll go, oh, okay, these 2 were not very good. So, and then like the worst thing for them is that they have to pick up a dog while they're out racing because then they have to put it in the bag in the sled and then have to carry the dog back.
So you're saying like in between
days. So first day they'll have 18 dogs. Next day it'll be 14 dogs. Last day maybe 12 dogs. I think somebody last day was running 8 dogs. So.
Oh wow. Hey, did you see that Lily Meadows, our niece, set a school record at Amherst?
I did see that early morning family group texts. See, you guys are all in a different time zone. So when my phone starts binging off the hook at 6 a.m., I'm going, oh, man, is that work? And I look at it, I go, no, it's family. I can't really go, don't
text me at this time.
Yeah.
Well, you're closer to their time zone than you are to our time zone, right?
Yeah, they're only an hour ahead of us, but still it's ahead.
Yeah, that's true. I get it the other way because I'm in the latest time zone of our immediate family.
So the texts come late at night.
So I get,
come on, trying to sleep. Yeah.
By the time I'm in bed, I'll get a text at like 11:30 or midnight. And I'm like, they probably in their mind still think Andy Meadows hangs out that late. And it's like, no, he doesn't. Not in several years. Unless I'm maybe at even when I go to conventions or go out of town by myself, I can't stay up that late anymore because I'm so used to.
Oh yeah, I'm totally one of the ones that, everybody's out bar hopping and I'll just walk away and go, okay, good night, see you later.
I know.
Keep having fun.
That. I've seen you pull the Irish exit, but but you sleep late.
Yeah, I just love to sleep.
Oh, dude, I wish I got that gene.
It's so nice. Just
Jill has that. She doesn't sleep great, but she sleeps considerably better than. Neither of us sleep great right now because of kids, but she's considerably better at it than I am. So is Lily, do you think she's the first Meadows to ever set a school record?
Yeah, unless it was for something bad.
Yeah.
Like, I think Rob got the most demerits ever at West Point, and he did it in 1 year.
Oh, yeah. 4. I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
I did set a record at Tybee High School for consecutive girlfriends in my man whore phase. And I said
concurrent, or was it consecutive or concurrent?
Concurrent. Probably, you're probably right. It was concurrent. And the lowest note ever sung in the tech choir. But I don't think they give you plaques for either of those things or put your name on a plaque. Maybe in the restroom.
Yeah, I definitely. You become famous.
Yeah,
for that.
So
she's flinging the hammer.
So she has a school. She has a school record now, and I can't think of the other thing that she throws that she has a record in.
She's got shot put. She's got discus. She's got the hammer throw. Right?
Maybe it's discus. I thought the hammer throw is the weird one where you spin around and it's got leverage.
Yeah.
And they kind of look like they're going to fall down every time.
Every single time. It's like they're very precipice of right where you're going to fall over. That's where you got to do it to be
And
best.
they spin so freaking fast, man.
Yeah.
It's
I'm pretty sure I would pass out if I tried that.
I told you, I may have told this story in the podcast before about me throwing shot put in high school.
I don't think so, because I can't imagine why you would throw shot put.
Well, so a different time. Just don't get offended by this. It's not I didn't put this together, but they used to have a thing called the Fat Man Relay at one of the track meets that we go to every year. And and this is when I was in Junction, and we had Coach Ball. Do you remember Coach Ball?
He was fast.
He was fast for a fat guy.
Fat dude, he was fast.
Yeah. So apparently it was like his big thing that he wanted to win this. And so he goes, I got a secret plan this year, Meadows. You're going to throw the shot put. And I'm like, everybody's going to keep in mind at this time, I'm probably 6'5", 150, 160 tops.
Yeah.
I'm super beanpole skinny. I'm like, everybody's going to laugh at me. And he's like, yeah, you only have to do one event to qualify to run in the Fat Man Relay. So we're going to put you in shot put as our second or third shot putter. So we know you're not going to win shot put. That's not the point. Just make
to get you onto the relay.
And he's like, you don't even have to try. And I'm like, yeah, but you know me, I'm going to make a bid out of it. So I really went out there and sold it like I thought I was going to be good at shot put and threw it like, and I was like, no, like making a huge scene out of it. So that was fun. And then I got to run in the Fat Man Relay, and I was the anchor, and all the other teams were pissed because they immediately realized why he'd put this nerd in shot put was, but there was nothing in the rules saying you couldn't do it. So we won.
I mean, it's in the name. It's in the name. It's not in the rules because it's in the name.
Yeah, and that's what everyone's saying. He's not a fat man. This is the Fat Man Relay. And it's like, well, technically, you don't have to be fat to throw the shot put. We could have a skinny shot putter. So anyway, the prize, guess what the prize was? You'll never guess. A bucket of chicken.
Oh, nice.
So we all got to sit there and eat the bucket
Dude, you
of
know,
chicken.
nowadays, that's like a $75 prize.
I know. Yeah.
Crazy.
I would guarantee you they don't do that anymore. This was not a district meet or anything. It was just one of the track meets you go through before district, but it was a coveted prize.
Well, I mean, it's that whole appropriation thing. You're like, oh, they can't make. As a fat man myself, I don't care. I'm not offended that there's a fat man relay. Run around. It's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I made it worse by really making a big. You know me, I'm not a good winner. When I win at things, I kind of have a tendency to let everybody know I won.
You're not a good loser either.
True.
So
because I'm
you're basically terrible at that. Both aspects of that.
I'm crazy competitive, which we've talked about before, and so yeah, I made a bid out of the shot put thing, and did all my throws, and then kept acting like I thought the next one was going to actually be good. And then once we won the Fat Man Relay, I had to rub it in everybody's face. So I was lucky that I didn't get beat up by several very
large men, yes,
individuals. Yeah.
But yeah, every guy that throws the shot put is massive. I don't know why you would think that a skinny dude could actually do it good.
Yeah.
I think it's physics.
There's the right button.
You're just randomly making noises on your thing?
No, it's our top comment time. So I forgot to...
top comment time.
I forgot
One of the 30 viewers has said something to Andy.
Stop talking about how few people watch the show. So
maybe it'll encourage people to tell their friends. Like and subscribe. Do you not do that? You don't do the call to action? Yeah, like and subscribe and follow the show.
I think people get that at this point, right? But everybody.
No, you have to say it. I think you have. Otherwise, you're going to go, no, he doesn't care.
You're legally bound.
Obligated to, yeah.
Smash
that like button, guys.
So I didn't screenshot it, but it was. You remember Rogelio Gutierrez?
Doesn't ring a
Junction,
bell.
Texas.
No.
His brother would have been in my grade. He was in a year younger than Rob. So I guess he saw one of our posts and he said, when it's the one where we're talking about when the war will end, where I said when the unredacted Epstein files are released or gas hits $5 per gallon.
Yeah.
So he said, is that a Texas price? I was in Cali last weekend and gas was over $6. I haven't seen it that high.
I have seen pictures of $8, but you know how California is? They've got those certain gas stations that are near like the rental car place or near like an Amazon fleet that comes out and doesn't care and they just fill up, where their prices are $2 higher than anywhere else. I filled up one time there when average gas prices were $3 and I paid $7 something because I wasn't paying attention. And I was like, I'm returning a rental car. I just need to top it up. And as I'm filling up, I'm like, holy crap, this is $7 something a gallon.
Yeah.
So that it feels like, I mean, I guess prices aren't regulated. They can charge whatever they want, but it feels kind of scummy at the same time.
Yeah, that's what they call price gouging, isn't it?
Well, no. I mean, you advertise the price. The price is there. People are going to pay it if they want to pay it.
Yeah.
And the thing is that there's always cars filling up there, so it clearly doesn't make a difference.
Well, I do think there are like, I mean, I look every time now, but there have definitely been times in my life where I didn't even pay attention until after I'd filled up. And then you go, oh my gosh, why was it $90? Crap. Yeah. Well, because here in Texas, it's like if you're along the interstate, if you go along the interstate, you're probably going to pay a little more than somewhere like if you go further into town. So it's proximity, but it's also the further you are away from the Gulf, the prices are a little bit higher. So I don't know if that has anything to do with being closer to an oil refinery. Like in Alaska, is it higher than it is here in the States usually?
It is higher, yes. There are refineries here. They pull it out of the ground here, but it is higher. But it's also all of it's ethanol free, and ethanol free gas is usually more expensive anyway. I think they probably have to do that here because I think that if you've got ethanol in the gas, you can get water in it and it can freeze. But
and the ethanol. So I know when I had a boat, they always said don't put gas with ethanol in it in your boat because it eats the hoses, chews the hoses up.
I think it also doesn't store well.
Well, in a boat that would matter.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah. So I think that I don't know exactly why it would chew the hoses up, but one year I didn't do that. Just like that's probably a myth. That's all old urban legend. And I put gas with ethanol in it, and I did have to replace every single freaking hose. That it cost me like $800 to do that. So that was legitimately a true thing. Oh, we did get some feedback on the show from my wife.
Oh, yeah.
she said that Jill's so nervous when she gives me feedback because I don't always take constructive criticism well, which is weird because part of my job as a consultant is to give constructive feedback.
Right, but that's to other people
right.
who you get to feel superior to because you're like, hello, I am.
So I don't take feedback, constructive criticism. I'm getting much better at it.
At least you know that about yourself, so that's good to acknowledge.
So she always soft pedals it at first, and she's like, I wasn't going to say anything, but sometimes you get too far away from the mic, and she said sometimes you trail off at the end of phrases, and it sounds like you're bored with what you're talking about. I'm like, well, that's probably
It's probably true.
So I didn't get mad at that one because I was like, it's also I switched mics. And this mic is much better when you're up on it.
Yeah. It's
made for being. We always tell people to eat.
It's a close mic.
Yeah. It's a close mic. So when the other mic I had before was probably a little better when I tend to move around when I talk. So that other mic's better for that.
So back to this war thing. It's not a war anymore. I heard that. It's a special operation or something. He can't call it a war. He said, oh, man, I got to stop calling this a war because I don't have these powers. So I'm going to call it something different.
That's why it's got to be so hard to be in the cabinet because you come out and say all the things you're legally supposed to say, and then he goes on TV and says this war. I mean, the thing I'm not supposed to call a war, but it's obviously a war. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he always says the quiet part out loud.
I know.
Like every other politician in history has been like, riding along, okay, and he's like, yeah, whatever. I'm starting a war illegally. I'm committing war crimes, but don't call it a war.
Well, I mean, he does like so in the cabinet meeting, the last couple cabinet meetings, because they all go around the table and they like praise him, which is very weird to us Americans because we've never seen that. And I don't think most people televised their cabinet meetings in the past, did they?
I mean, I don't think so.
Or
I remember
watched them.
Yeah, but they probably weren't interesting. They were probably just actual meetings.
Well, and that's kind of what he said. He said, I got in trouble they said I fall asleep in these, and the truth is these things are really boring, and sometimes I shut my eyes because I'm so bored and just sit there, but I'm not asleep. He said all that. So I mean, clearly he fell asleep. You can.
I feel like we don't need 80-year-old men in positions of power anymore. That's the problem. Let Grandpa sleep. He needs a nap. He can't be on all day.
Well, that's what I felt. I kind of felt bad for Biden towards the end, and especially after that debate where he was clearly seemed too old to do the job. Where Trump really beat him in that debate. Everybody kind of agreed. Even people that hated Trump were like, yeah, he probably won that because Biden seems so out of it. I mean, they caught him at the wrong time. Somebody that age, there's times of the day where you're not going to be as strong. And they were obviously hiding how degraded he probably was a little more. I mean, that books have come out saying that, but it was ironic because Trump is so close to his age.
Yeah.
So it's like, we don't want the 81-year-old. We want the 79 or 80, whatever. They're real close. And then he ends up, they thought, putting Kamala in there, who's so much younger, would give him a shot. But then, But I do think after this presidency, that's the one big thing I think next time, I think I could see the next president being 37 years old. I mean, not even 40, but definitely not over 50 or 60. I mean, 50 probably, but definitely not over 60. I think this is the last really old president we'll have for a while.
Good, because I think that you should have to live with the consequences of your actions.
Yeah, that's a good point because it is kind of like, although
he can do whatever he wants at this point. He's probably not going to here for long.
Well, that's like when everyone's like third term. He's not going to run for a third term, not just because of the law, because obviously he doesn't mind breaking the law.
No, I want him to get it passed that you can run for a third term, and I want Obama to run against him.
Yeah.
because that would upset him so much.
You laugh, but hey, it comes full circle. Obama is the reason he ran. You know that, right?
Yeah, that one press dinner.
If Obama hadn't delivered those jokes, or whoever wrote those jokes weren't so good, because it was a pretty funny. I mean, he was making fun of him. He like showed a picture of what the White House would look like with Trump, and it was like gold, all gold, and everybody laughed, of course.
Which is kind of how the Oval Office looks now. There's lots of gold in it.
Yeah, so fairly. He predicted it was showing the outside, but if he'd shown the inside, that would have.
Well, after the ballroom, maybe it will match a little bit better.
Yeah.
Are they still doing that? I haven't heard of ballroom stuff in a while.
Yeah, and I think it's probably. I think I saw something about it running over budget a hair, but I could be misremembering that. To me, I think I was surprised that didn't get more attention because of the historic building and the fact that we're so big on traditions and stuff, and he's just knocking it down to make a ballroom that's larger than the rest of the White House altogether, right?
Yeah.
Am I right in that? Yeah.
You're correct in that. It's larger than the rest of the building combined. And how many balls are you going to have? That's what it feels like. Is it ball every night? If you got that much space.
Dude, when you're bringing in all that money from those oil-rich countries, when you could throw some pretty sweet ballrooms. Plus, it's all paid for. Sponsors. It's going to be the.
But you said it's going over budget. Is that because of tariffs or oil prices going up?
Who knows? Don't quote me on that. I may be wrong about it going over budget, but I thought I saw a story about that. Oh, hey, I saw a Karen in the wild this week at the DMV.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, DMV, generally speaking, is not
brings it out.
Yeah. I think that the actual DMV employees play games about how many people I can upset today. Like they're keeping a tally back there.
Well, dude, I did understand why she acted the way she did. So all she did was she was just, all she did. She was, it's like the scene in Beetlejuice where they're all pulling a number and the number you get is like out of thin air. It's like insanely high, and then it doesn't correlate with the numbers coming up that they're calling for. So this lady got mad, and she was like, did the whole, you're calling up people that have came in after me, and I saw them come after me, and they were like, yeah, because we also text people about their appointments. They're making appointments earlier, and blah, 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 and she didn't buy it. And then she started, so that wasn't enough, so she started asking the people in line, when did you get here? And they were like, I don't know. And I was loving it. I almost pulled out my phone to film it because it was pretty good. But then I was kind of making fun of her in my head, and then I had to wait so long that I kind of started to see her point.
You started to feel it.
Like you want to go, there's no rhyme or reason to this. Why are you like T15576 and then R70, like.
So does it ask you when you show up for the appointment what you're there for? Like, is it like I'm renewing a license or I'm doing something with a car?
And that's what it was.
So different people have different jobs. And if there's more people there for the license, so it looks way worse in that aspect.
And there was a lady in line, to her credit, that guessed that explanation you just said. She was like, she's like explaining to her, on the kiosk when you came in, you hit registration for vehicle registration. That's why your numbers are blah, 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 blah. But anyway, have you seen any Karens in the wild?
Not this week, but that like when you're talking about the worst, I get that way at a restaurant. Either when you're waiting for the table and people come in after you and then they sit down and you're like, wait a minute, they didn't have a reservation. Why are they sitting and I'm not? But more so when you've ordered food and you're at the table, you ordered your food, somebody comes and sits at the table next to you, they order their food, and then they get their food. And you're like, I've been here 15 minutes. I haven't gotten the food. They sat down, they got the food. What?
See, the second part doesn't bother me nearly as much because that's all dependent on what you ordered.
No, that upsets me.
Yeah, but if you order something that takes longer to cook, it's not going to get there as quick. If they order something that's, they order a chicken salad that takes no time, already put together, they throw the chicken on it, and you ordered fajitas or whatever. I don't know. definitely depends on what you order. But the first thing you said, that makes me mad. When I make when I go through the trouble to make a reservation, especially for a special event like Valentine's Day or something, and I make a reservation and we get there ahead of time, we're ready, boom, 7:00 rolls around. Where's our table? Oh, sorry, we can't. What? I had a reservation. It's not ready. And then when you sit down, somebody else that didn't have a reservation just walks in and gets a table. It's like, was that a celebrity? I don't know that person. Why are they? What's this? What's this about? Oh, it's a YouTuber or an influencer. Who knows? But yeah, that.
Or it's just, hey, we had an extra table. We want people to be sitting down and eating.
Right, or it's a friend of the maitre d' or the hostess or whoever. Who frickin' knows?
Or, oh, he's here all the time. I love that one. He's here all the time. Well, I'm here right now too. Maybe.
That's what I've never been a regular at a. I'm sure I've been a regular at a restaurant, but I never, other than the places in Kerrville where we'd all go because it's a smaller town. But here in the big city, I've never been a regular at a restaurant enough where they got no on my order. But I've definitely been the regular at a bar. And that's kind of a weird feeling because when you walk into a bar and they just slide a drink down the bar with the thing that you always get, it is a little depressing. It's like, because I like to think I don't have a problem. But then when you're like,
but they recognize you, they know what you're drinking, and it's there waiting
slide
for
you an old fashioned that's perfectly made the way you like it in the glass you like, and you're like, ah. Then you start telling a story, and everyone's like, we've heard it before. I'm like, oh crap, got to find a new bar. Hey, so you were a economics major. Are we on the verge of you were an economics minor, right?
No, I'm an economics major. I have 2 degrees. Or not 2, I guess 2 degrees, yeah.
Are we on the verge of an economic crash like 2008?
It feels like it, doesn't it?
I know.
It's hard to say, man. I think it's whether or not this AI bubble pops. I don't think it'll be a 2008, 2009. It'll probably be more like a tech 2000, 2001 bubble burst.
The tech bubble bursting?
Yeah. But I mean, how many sectors is it going to affect? Who knows? Well, I mean, the whole prediction forever was as soon as the federal deficit goes past the annual GDP, we're all screwed. And that happened a few years back, and nothing didn't matter. We were just like, just truck along like normal.
Well, that's so hard on the predicting it.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that it's all this speculation around it, and Trump can move the markets with a tweet, and he's been doing that all week, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, who knows? Who knows what's real and what's not? But it feels like it's not a great time to be.
The two things that scare me is one that you said of AI bubble, because I know there's a handful of AI companies kind of propping up the whole economy right now, especially here in the States.
Yeah, and OpenAI has said they're going to put like $100 billion a year into, or something. It's some crazy amount of money they're planning on burning over the next 10 years. It's like, how are you ever going to get that back? You have to charge your customers a crap ton of money, and are people going to pay it?
Right. So is that going to burst? And AI's now got its fingers in almost every part of the business sector. So could that cause a broader crash? And then the second part is the gas prices, the energy costs going up because the Strait of Hormuz being closed, which it's at least going to be closed for another 10 days probably, because he extended the deadline. We don't know exactly how we're going to get it reopened. So that's probably going to last for a while. And the annoying thing about the high energy price spiking, because yes, the price at the pump goes up pretty quickly. Like you see that at the gas station, literally the next day. Yeah. Because they're basing their current price on what the next fill up of their tanks at the gas station is going to cost. But the broader prices of fuel that affect like fertilizer and our food and plastics and all those other kind of things that are in everything, that takes a while to impact. So that's why when everyone's like rushes out to the grocery store to buy stuff when oil spikes, you don't have to do that the day oil spikes, but you will have to do that pretty soon, because in a couple months you're going to start seeing massively. That's why they're so nervous about this, because the prices are really going to hit closer to the midterms.
And they've already been high.
Yeah.
So it's like, how much more can you push before it's like, okay, that's just not an option anymore to buy these things. So
yeah, scary stuff, man. It's now come out that the reason Dak Prescott and his fiance split up is because she gave him a monogamy pledge. Did you see that?
No. So she gave him a monogamy pledge?
Well, they have, don't quote me, I think they have 2 kids together, and they've been engaged for a while, and apparently she gave him I guess he fooled around or done stuff in the past, and she knew about it, and so she said, you're going to have to be monogamous if we're going to get married, and he's like, that's the reporting. It's not like I know.
I mean, I'm trying to understand how this is different than any other marriage. Like, if you're engaged to be married, generally that's an agreement to not cheat on the other person. I mean, what did he think? He was like, oh my goodness, wait, what?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a big ask. Now that we're married, I mean, what you did before, but now that we're married, can you just not sleep with a bunch of other women? But I mean, but it does speak to like the broader thing with pro athletes. What percentage of pro athletes do you think are faithful?
Not many.
Yeah, it's got to be low, right?
I think it probably is fairly low. Like, there's some where you feel like, hey, he's probably like David Robinson. David Robinson probably never cheated on his wife.
Yeah, for sure. Tim Duncan. But that's because we're Spurs fans. Maybe we're just saying that.
You're like, Nowitzki, of course he did.
Because we just threw out two Spurs. But like Kirk Cousins in the NFL, he probably doesn't. But I'm thinking of that because I saw a documentary and it's like, didn't seem like.
But a lot of them do, yes, famously. And I feel like maybe the bigger the star, the more likely, because you just can't help it.
Yeah, it is tough. Like all of us normal folks like to judge celebrities who cheat a lot, but it's like
when everybody's treating you like essentially a god walking into the room, it's like, oh man.
Yeah, because us normal folks, like I've turned down women before, but I haven't turned down women like the women that approached Prescott probably on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like if you did a side by side of the women I've turned down versus the women.
You're saying the options were different, is what's going on.
The options were different. I mean, I'm a tall fella. I'm doing all right, but I mean, he's the quarterback of the Cowboys, and he's a good-looking man. So it's got to be. I don't think we should judge so hard.
That's the whole thing of, all right, we're going to get married and you can't cheat on me. Well, never mind. We're not getting married.
Yeah. What do the vows look like if you don't have a monogamy pledge? It's got to make it for interesting vows.
I mean, there are open relationships out there. That's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure like on the pro athletes, I'm sure there are some spouses, and this goes for the women. I'm sure there are female pro athletes that aren't faithful either. Or probably percentages are a little better, let's be honest. But I'm sure there are some pro athletes that are in open marriages and the other person just knows, hey, this is what it is. Use protection, be careful, and whatever.
So do you think it's because they're on the road so much for the games away, or do you think it's just because they can?
Yeah, I think it's just super hard because baseball players are on the road 160. Well, 80 of those games, half of those games.
Yeah, but it's still half the year essentially, or something.
Yeah, so you're on the road a lot, and it's high. That's about as I know we haven't won a Super Bowl in a long time, as everybody likes to bring up. But the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys is one of the marquee sports positions. It's one of the most high-profile things in the world. It's that, maybe soccer star on one of the big Premier League teams, F1 driver. I mean, those are like the big pitcher for the Yankees. Starting pitcher, whatever. There's a handful of jobs that it's like you're even if the team's not good, you're still one of the most famous people in the world, and that's one of them. So yeah, he's got to be, and he's a good looking dude. I mean, he's better looking than Romo, and I'm sure Romo had plenty come his way. And Ron was a nice guy. So did you hear colleges are fighting AI with oral exams? Insert your obvious joke here, Chris. With
where I lost it. I lost the joke.
Oh. With professors claiming students are turning in perfect homework but can't explain that work when they ask them to. So educators are worrying that students see the hard work of thinking as optional. You think AI is already making us dumber?
I mean, probably. But isn't that like, okay, but if it's there, it's the whole, well, you're not going to be carrying around a calculator in your pocket. When, of course, we all do now. It's like, well, you have this tool. Can you not use the tool? You have the tool. Yeah.
Well, that's why when I was talking to Jill about this, she was like, well, they just take up their phones and then they can't use AI. And I'm like, their watch, their glasses. They now have smart glasses that look just like these glasses. If I was wearing smart glasses right now, you would not know. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're a little dorkier than that.
No, they're not, dude.
They're better now?
They're better now. The latest version, Ray-Ban makes a version that looks, these are Ray-Ban glasses. Ray-Ban makes a version of smart glasses that look almost identical to this. I could wear those and record everything I see everywhere I go all day. You know what I mean? And no one would know.
Yeah, but it'd be pretty boring video.
He just hangs out with his kids. One did touch the stove. That was exciting. Don't get me wrong.
You got to edit a whole week down into 12 minutes for me to here's the good parts.
Talk about B-roll. Jeez. This whole guy's life is boring. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, you could be wearing smart glasses in class, which is, I'm sure, what they're doing. It's the smart glasses, the phone, the
But
watch.
how are you interacting with the glasses to get the information? Or you can't be talking out loud to them. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be whispering into my glasses in the middle of class.
Remember college? How far the professor was away from you? I mean, people, even when you were there, people were probably sneaking laptops in, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The thing is, you're paying for college. If you're not trying, then why are you paying for college?
Yeah. No, I get you. I'm just thinking. I'm just arguing that it's probably not. It's probably much easier to cheat now than it was when we were in school.
And my point is it cheating if you're just using a tool?
Right, which is probably what the kids are saying. They're like, "What's wrong with you don't think people Googled?" When you gave them homework before, right. You don't think they went home and Googled it? How's this any different? Well, because you're doing it in real time. They could Google homework, but the test, so they probably just weighted the test more when we all started being able to Google homework. They probably weighted the test more. And so if you Googled if you didn't really learn anything in your homework, then you failed the test and they knew you had cheated on your homework. But so that's why they're going to oral exams in some of these. But, pretty soon they'll probably figure out a way to do that too.
Well, and that's a put somebody on the spot thing that you can't, sometimes you know it, but you can't articulate because you're nervous because somebody's talking to you about this. So I could see how that could also be a problem.
Yeah, that's what I knew a girl that went on Wheel of Fortune, and she was super smart. And she looked super dumb on Wheel of Fortune. And Wheel of Fortune is famous for, they try to get people that are the ideal person for Wheel of Fortune is a little less intelligent than the average American.
Because they want everybody at home to get the puzzle before the guy does.
Correct. Exactly. Because that's much more fun to watch than just watching something they get. Like Mom, when she watches Wheel of Fortune, she gets it in 2 letters are up. And she guesses, she'll walk to the room and be like, and you're like, good God. But she knows so many. She was an English teacher. She knows a lot of the phrases. But, so that's what they want. So this was a really smart girl. So I was like, she probably cleaned up on Wheel of Fortune. So I watched the episode, did terribly. And I was like, what happened? She's like, there's so many things you got to remember. You got to spin the wheel the right way. And you got to, pay attention to what letters have been guessed and what haven't. You're live. They're asking you questions. And it's just, so there's probably some kids that are like, I didn't do good on my oral exam because I'm not good in front of people or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know what the right answer is. We do have an anonymous question. Where is the open?
You have anonymous questions. I do not like that. That's a horror movie. It's creepy.
To change that because it does creep me out too. Miguel in Florida asked, I was a bit of an incel in high school, so I don't have a ton of experience with women, and now I'm a freshman in college, and things aren't much better. I'm not a fan of dating apps, so any advice on approaching women in real life from two old married guys? Not crazy about the fact that he called us two old married guys, but I guess that comes
It sounds like
across
we're
on
married
camera.
to each other when he said it like that.
To be clear, I would be the
Different people.
No. We're married to different people and they're women. But yes, from two old married guys, you got any advice on approaching women in real life? That's the other thing for young folks is it's this IRL, this in real life stuff kind of stresses them out a little bit.
My advice would be just treat them like a person. Just talk to them. It doesn't matter that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to a girl. You're talking to a person.
Yeah.
Talk to your buddy. Talk to a girl the same way you talk to a friend.
Yeah, which is dead on. How long did it take you to learn that when you were younger?
Man, I don't know. I still don't know that, actually. I just give the advice, but I still get all nervous. Oh, I just don't talk to. I think I learned that. I think I learned that early on.
You probably learned that from this guy, older brother that taught you all the bad lessons.
I learned not to have concurrent girlfriends.
So my advice is similar to yours, but a little skeezier, as you would imagine.
Yeah.
I would say, so I always think of it in the mind of like meeting a girl at a bar, because that was my world. Bar.
I don't think the kids do that anymore, though.
I know, but there's still bars. There's still college bars, dude. They just don't go to like nightclubs. They don't go to that, but they go to like the neighborhood bars. Go to a college town and go to a bar. There's still college kids out. But anyway, so let's say you're in a bar, Miguel, and you see a woman that you're interested in. You look for a sign they want you to come over, is my advice. Because it's still true that men do most of the approaching instead of women the other way around. I know things have changed.
So you're saying longer eye contact, a smile your way, something like that.
Yeah, and that's the only one I could never get tell the smile one, because women they could be smiling at something the bartender said or something their friend said. So I would always look for the eye contact. And you got to be tricky because I'm tall and kind of weird, so the eye contact could be them going, "What's that weirdo doing over there?" So it's not just eye contact, it's literally them locking eyes with you for a little longer than normal. Like, especially if you're walking across the room, like, hey, I went to the bathroom earlier and this girl, like, her eyes followed my eyes and we met eyes, and the whole way I was walking to the bathroom or something like that, where okay. And the drunker you get, the harder it is to tell whether this is happening. So also don't get super hammered. And once you notice, this is the mistake a lot of my friends would make. They would notice, or I would notice a girl watching them, and I'd say, hey, that girl over there is interested in you. And they'd go, yeah, I know, I think she's cute. But they'd be nervous, so they'd pound drinks and then go over like 30 minutes later after they're super hammered. Dumb. Never do that.
So you're saying once you notice, just go.
Once you notice, go pretty soon. Like if you're walking to the bathroom, go to the bathroom, come back out. If you need
relieve yourself. Don't.
Yeah, don't go pee all over. No, but if you have a drink and if you want to finish a drink or take a shot to get some liquid courage, then go for that. But just don't get shit canned and then go up there and be a drunken idiot trying to hit on this girl, because you'll screw it up. So take a shot, finish your drink, go over within a couple minutes at the very longest. Like one of my buddies from high school that was always struggling, we had the same interest in girls. Not going to say who it is because he listens to the show. But we had the same same taste in girls. And so I would have a better success rate because when I noticed a girl being interested in me, I would go over right away. He would wait 30, 45 minutes, get up to liquid courage, and then be drunk by the time he went to talk to him. And yeah, it never goes well. But I do think you're dead on. Like once you start talking to them, don't come in with a line. Like that doesn't work unless you're like one of those like pimps like from the shows in the 90s, like how to unless you like are a professional at this, the lines don't freaking work. So especially if you never talk to girls, you're not going to go get them with a line. So just talk to her like you talk to a friend, like you said, like a normal person, like anybody else. Don't talk to them like they're a beautiful woman that is out of your league or intimidating.
And don't play the games of like, oh, you're going to neg them or you're going to do this or that. Those are stupid.
Those are stupid. Although, again, being a little skeezy, the one trick I would do that works, and it works for a couple reasons, is if you're buying her a drink, which you should buy her a drink. When you approach a woman, you should offer to buy her a drink, right? If it's at a bar, I mean.
Not
don't
a church.
Just, yeah, or church. You want some of this blood of Christ? I got some extra.
Oh, right.
Maybe a little Jeez-It wafer.
Jeez.
That's what I always call them, the little body of Christ. But if you're buying, so buy her a drink, but don't if she's with female friends, not male friends, but if she's with female friends, buy all of them a drink. I know that gets expensive, so maybe do it during a happy hour or something. But if she's there with 2 or 3 friends, just bite the bullet and buy 3 or 4 drinks. Couple reasons. It gets their friends to like not hate you, and that's the big barrier keeping you from getting anywhere with them, because they're going to be like, well, who's this tall creep that just came over? Well, I was looking at him across the way. You don't know anything about him. Whatever. So it puts them at ease. Plus, it adds a little mystery because they're like, is he interested in me or one of the friends? Works every time. Only if you've had the signal. It absolutely doesn't work if you didn't get the signal and you just go up and buy the whole bar of friggin'
It gets expensive fast, yeah.
Gets expensive fast, but it's a trick that works.
I will lay that as another one, is just talk to as many girls as you can. It doesn't matter.
It's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game.
And it's reps, dude. Just like the 10,000 hours thing, they always say, like, it takes talking to women. Like the reason I got better at it than my buddies wasn't that I'm brilliant or charming or any of that kind of crap.
Clearly.
It's that I was willing to do it. And so once you've done it 1,000 times, it's like, this is not nerve-wracking. I've done it 1,000 times. Now, if you've done it 1,000 times and it works, then you have another problem.
If you've done it 1,000 times and it's never worked, you also have another problem.
Rex and rants. Do you have any Rex and rants?
What am I watching right now? Oh, I forget that you've got the little thing there. Sorry, I was talking.
That's my song. What's that song? I think that's this girl.
Oh my God, you're getting old if you can't remember the song that you wrote.
I didn't hear any of the lyrics. That's this girl I love, I think, that I wrote about Jill. But anyway, Rex, rants.
I'm watching Billions on Showtime right now.
Going back, eh?
Well,
or is there a new season?
Signed up for. I feel like there's new seasons because we watched it up to a point and then I canceled the service. And Stacy was like, I'm not going to watch it because we had to start all over again because I forgot everything. And I was like, I'll just pick it up where I left off because she's gone this weekend. She's off in Louisiana again. So I'm batching it up. And yeah, so I started that yesterday and I'm digging it. I like it. Paul Giamatti is amazing in anything. I've never seen him put in a bad performance.
Is Dan Soder still in it?
Which one's Dan Soder?
He's a comic. He's real funny. He plays he was one of the traitors in the first season that he ended up liking the shrink for a while. Paul Giamatti's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Tall guy, deep voice.
No, I got to look it up.
He used to be in radio.
Yes, Dan Soder is still in it.
Yeah, used to be in radio, by the way. Got to start in radio.
And Birbiglia is in it occasionally.
Yeah, Birbiglia plays one of the other rich guy traders, right?
Yeah.
That owns a different company. They're both pretty good in it.
Invests with him. Yeah.
And spoiler alert for people that aren't caught up, but because we stopped watching after a while, but did Paul Giamatti's character and his wife get back together, the psychiatrist, or did they?
They're divorcing. I'm on season 5 right now, and there's 7 seasons. So right now they're divorcing.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it has been out for a long time. And I'm just like, but it's because that's why I play those games where I'm like, all right, I haven't had this service in a while. I'll sign up for it for the month, and then I'll watch whatever I missed from the last 2 years, and then I'll cancel it.
Yeah,
so I got Paramount for like another week.
I did like that show because the other guy, the main guy's real good too. What's his name? That was
Damian Lewis.
Yeah, Damian Lewis is phenomenal too. We're watching the Murdoch Dynasty documentary on Netflix that inspired Secession. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
Yeah, it's pretty good, dude. Truth is always stranger than fiction. It's got some really juicy tidbits.
Where
did you watch this?
Did I watch Succession?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you watch Secession, you would like it. But yeah, the Murdochs, that's Rupert Murdoch, the guy that owns Fox News and the Fox Channel, and he's one of the
and a bunch of he owns a bunch of different media outlets. I think newspapers and stuff in Britain, right?
And kind of like, yeah, he started out in Australia and then moved to England and bought a bunch of newspapers there, and then later TV, and it's kind of like in the show Secession. He's in his 90s now, and still going at it. And so imagine they've got 4 kids, 3 of which kind of want to run the company, right? Two brothers and a girl.
So this is real life Succession then.
It's real life, yeah. And the fourth, one of the sisters didn't seem to really be interested in it, but the 2 brothers are definitely want to be the one, and then one of the sisters wants to be the one, and they're all kind of going at it. And then 2 of the brothers, the 2 sisters and one of the brothers team up to try to cut out the other brother, and so he goes to the dad, and they form a plan to change it all up. I mean, it's like almost more interesting than the real plot of Secession. So, I mean, it's we hadn't watched the whole thing yet, but we're a couple into it, and it's definitely good. We'll finish it.
I feel like, I'd be happy with the money. I don't have to run a company.
I know, like you're all billionaires no matter how you slice it.
Right. Like, why would you want the extra work? Just take the money.
Well, because they grew up in it.
I know.
I'm sure. And they, when you've been around power, because it's power, that's a powerful family. It's one of the most powerful families in media history, probably.
Yeah. They can set a narrative and follow it through on all the different platforms. And that's then the truth.
It's got to be kind of addictive to have that kind of power. You know what I mean? So I can see why someone would want it. If we were in that, which one of the brothers would take over? Me, you, or Rob?
Maybe it's not Rob for sure.
Because one of us would cut his throat. Is that what you're saying? Guess what?
I feel like you would want it more, but I'd be better at it. So,
yeah, you'd be the dark horse. Everyone would be like, Andy. Yeah, because he's ruthless. He'll do it. And then you'd come in at the last second and which is kind of what happened in Secession.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that's it for today's show. We'll be back next week with a new episode of the Andy Meadows Show, now available on your favorite podcast platforms as well.